Today, the House Oversight Committee is releasing subpoenaed bank records that show Hunter Biden's business entity, Owasco PC, made direct monthly payments to Joe Biden. This wasn't a payment from Hunter Biden's personal account, but an account for his corporation that received payments from China and other shady corners of the world.
And that is Republican House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer with his latest evidence claiming that Hunter Biden funneled money to his father, Joe Biden. The alleged bombshell from Comer's in the form of bank records showing that Hunter made direct monthly payments for 3 months. But what Comer left out of his on-camera statement is that the payments from 2018 and 2019 totaled just over $4,000, and each payment was $1,380. Furthermore, the checks were repayment for money Hunter had borrowed to pay for a Ford Raptor pickup truck. Yes, earlier that year, Hunter was in some financial distress, borrowed $4,000 from his dad for a pickup truck, and then paid the money back. And these car loan payments were first reported 2 years ago by the conservative Murdoch-owned New York Post. The New York Post, for God's sakes. Did Comer really think he could get this past anybody with half a brain? Well, maybe that's more than Comer has. After getting busted, Comer dug his own grave even deeper.
It was no skin off Joe Biden's back. You know, when my son needs help or my daughter who's in college needs help, I just give her money. Nobody ever pays me back.
So if you're keeping score at home, the Biden family crime is that they pay their debts, even to direct family members. Impeach Biden, because nobody has ever borrowed a few $1,000s from a parent or sibling. Oh, and by the way, borrowing $4,000 from your dad and then paying him back in monthly installments is not illegal. It's not a crime, except if your last name is Biden and the analysis is being done by Republican MAGA lunatics. Also, keep in mind, this transaction happened after Joe Biden's vice presidential term had ended and before he launched a presidential campaign. Yes, he was still a private citizen. However, law professor Jonathan Turley, a Republican favorite, could not be bothered to get briefed on the details before going on Fox News and looking nearly as idiotic as James Comer.
And now we see joint accounts where money is moving to Joe Biden. We even have Joe Biden's house being listed for some of these payments by Hunter Biden. It's rather daunting to imagine what you need, according to the Democrats. So I think the moment of truth has arrived. Democrats have either got to show that they stand against corruption and approve an inquiry, or they have to take ownership of this, because influence peddling is the favorite form of corruption in Washington. But none of us have seen the likes of this.
That last point is true. None of us have seen the likes of this, a group of lawmakers who are as incompetent and stupid as James Comer and his Republican crew, a group that cannot move past an auto loan repayment. And they hold that up as bombshell evidence? To be fair, it sounds like Professor Turley made his appearance on Fox News before getting the details of what Comer was peddling. In other words, Turley got burned. Still, that seems to be a pattern for all of the Republicans and their supporters involved in this impeachment effort. They hate the Bidens and are convinced the Bidens must be corrupt, so the GOP will jump on anything to confirm this nonsense, even when it turns out to be zero confirmation and nothing at all. The irony is that if lawmakers really cared about corruption, they would focus on the Trump family. Daughter Ivanka and son-in-law Jared, while working in the White House, yes, they were working in the White House, made more than $640 million. Much of that business came from foreign nationals looking to curry favor with the Trump administration. And then just before leaving office, Jared got $2 billion, with a B, $2 billion from Saudi Arabia. But Joe Biden helped his son Hunter buy a pickup truck. Hunter then paid him back $4,000, and that's the Republican basis for impeachment. There is ridiculous, and then there is James Comer and his Trump MAGA lunatics. If this is the best these Republicans can do, the GOP is in even more trouble than previously understood. Good grief. By the way, Donald Trump just flipped out after being criticized by actor Robert De Niro.
Lying has become just another tool in the charlatan's arsenal.
In a speech at the Gotham Awards, actor Robert De Niro opened fire on Donald Trump.
The former president lied to us more than 30,000 times during his years in office. And he's keeping up the pace in his current campaign of retribution. But with all his lies, he can't hide his soul.
And now Trump has revealed his soul, at least as it pertains to celebrities who criticize him. Quote, Robert De Niro, whose acting talents have greatly diminished with his reputation now shot, must even use a teleprompter for his foul and disgusting language. So disrespectful to our country. He has become unwatchable both in movies and with the fools that destroyed the Academy Awards, bringing them from one of the top shows in the country to a low-rated afterthought. Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.